Last week I made a video about how to set up a lay box for when your snake is about to lay eggs. Today I'll show you how I set up my incubation boxes for the eggs after they're laid. I use a shallow plastic lidded bin for this with air holes drilled on the top ledge and the lid. I spray down the box with an egg-safe veterinary disinfectant before rinsing it out afterwards. Now, with a prepared bin, we can add the perlite. Perlite is a lightweight, crumbly substrate made of volcanic glass. It retains water and is moldable. It's an ideal egg incubation medium that you can get at most garden stores. We still need to add some water to it to make it a good temporary home for the eggs, and it's important to always use a water conditioner with snake eggs because the shell is permeable and the eggs are sensitive to chlorine and tap water. I'm also using warm water so that when I transfer the eggs into this box, it's already pretty warm for them. I eyeball the amount of water that I put in, and I mix it well to the point where if you squeeze it, it clumps together but doesn't drip. I make sure to incorporate all of the corners with dry perlite so that the humidity throughout the box is consistent. It looks like we have the consistency that we need, so let's get the eggs out. I keep the eggs at 80 degrees Fahrenheit with an observed range of 79 to 81 degrees. I measure this with a temperature probe that I keep at the same depth in the perlite as the eggs. I'm transferring all of the eggs to this new box, except for this one. This one looks a little bit sluggy, and I'll keep a spot for it in this original incubation tray. These 3 eggs are Mrs. Mack's successful eggs, and all of the rest are Linda's. I want to spray the perlite in the new tray with a layer of the veterinary disinfectant. This F10 disinfectant is pre-diluted and is safe for egg contact in moderate amounts. Now I'm making small trenches for each egg so that when I take the tray out to check on them, they don't roll around. Hognose snake embryos attach themselves to the egg wall within the first 24 hours after being laid, so it's important to know where the top of the egg is and to not turn them around after that point. I put all 3 of Mrs. Mack's eggs together before transferring the rest of Linda's. I try to put them in order this time in a way that makes more organizational sense than the last tray that they were in. All of these eggs have veins that you can clearly see when you shine a light through them, which is called candling. After getting all of the other eggs situated and comfy, I address the little sluggy egg. This perlite needs some more water, so I mix some in and refresh it in this little spot before forgetting and then eventually remembering to lightly spray it with the disinfectant. This will hopefully ward off any mold issues with this guy. I do put him back in this spot and I surround him with the perlite, and then I wash my hands in between this egg and the others just to be safe. I disinfect and I rinse the old lid before replacing it, again just to mitigate mold. I take the govy out of this tray so I can put it in the other. This little block measures humidity and temperature and sends the information to my phone so I can monitor. Now I'm pushing the perlite up against the boundaries of the eggs to kind of lock them into place. You shouldn't cover them completely as they do require air exchange, but it's good for them to have a lot of contact with the perlite for adequate hydration and stabilization. I grab another lid for this tray and give it the same treatment as the other, disinfecting and rinsing. And now our trays are ready to go back in the incubator. I want the temperature probe to be just on or under the surface of the perlite as the eggs are. I take the probe and struggle with it one-handedly before maneuvering the suction cup that it comes with to where I can use it as a stopper underneath the lid of the box to keep the probe in place. I clamp down the lid on the wire of the probe to keep it where I want to be, because I also don't want the wire touching or bothering the eggs, and I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but it's how it's being done for now. And finally, our eggs are in their incubator. The temperature is climbing back up to 80, and our eggs will have a fresh box to develop in for the next few weeks.